You know, this is just to give you the context. There is Afghanistan, there is Kabul, this is the airport, and there is where the explosions happened. The official death toll is that 13 people have been killed. And joining me now is the former strategic advisor to the international community, Hurley. Kevin, good evening to you. Goodness me, what do we do now?
Well, from my point of view, we carry on as planned. There's no reason to panic, steady the buffs, quite frankly. We've got excellent personnel down there from 16 Air Assault Brigade and the 82nd Airborne Division, supported by a few colleagues that have still remained. They will have fully anticipated, planned and prepared for an attack at the Baron Hotel, and they would have also planned for an attack at the Abbey Gate. They were the obvious points. They would have anticipated this kind of complex attack from a suicide bomber and possibly a car bomb at the Baron, and they will have realised it would be from ISK. So from the point of view of our superb British Armed Forces and 16 Air Assault Brigade, and I'm wearing their tie, incidentally, at the moment, no surprises. There's no reason for us to waver in the mission that we're doing. The issue here is really how can you filter out someone who's determined to come in with a suicide bomb amongst those crowds. That was the responsibility of the external security, which is mounted by the Taliban, who incidentally appear to have been doing quite a good job in managing that, despite the spin against them. And they would be equally concerned about what ISK are about to do, because they are pretty much mortal enemies and have been for several years in Afghanistan. So, to sum up, I don't think we need to do anything other than carry on with our current plan. My sympathies, of course, are with those poor Afghans who've died and been maimed and the US Marines who've been injured. But frankly, all we saw today was a normal day in Afghanistan. It's just there was a lot of media there to see it.
So, you know, from your perspective, what you're saying is that don't panic, continue as normal, stay there essentially for as long as possible to get as many people out as possible. But surely now, I mean, we're all seeing the scenes unfolding. You know, you can't go a moment without seeing what's happening in and around the airport. It is incredibly difficult. I mean, I'm showing some of the footage on my screen as we're talking. It is incredibly difficult for people now to safely be making these plans, making these planes. I already mentioned that several countries now have announced that they've either left or they're imminently about to leave. Why would you suggest that we continue to put our servicemen and women at risk by staying, especially when it's highly likely that further attacks will be happening on the perimeter of this airport?
Well, firstly, it's their job. They're proud to do it and they're very good at it. And as I said, they've prepared and planned and will have rehearsed this exact situation, even down to probably having standby armoured ambulances by the Abbey Gate, and they will have contingency plans to deal with this kind of attack within the military hospital that's within what's called HK North NATO base. But back to the point, the reason why I think it's right we should continue to do that is there are still British nationals yet to be extricated from there, and there are still many people who loyally serve the British Armed Forces, British Government Embassy and associated groups who still need to be removed, including the people who guarded the British Embassy in Kabul. You know, I was literally there until a short time ago, so I know all these places, all these situations, and have passed by the Baron and Abbey Gate many times. If we walk away now, there will be lots of people, and when I say lots, there will be probably another 1,000 people we could get out who will not go. It's the role of the soldiers. They would not want to run away and turn tail. It would further show, if you like, the humiliation and missed policies of the West, which have been appalling. Our soldiers will crack on, particularly 16 Air Assault Brigade, but indeed Royal Navy personnel who are there, Royal Air Force personnel and supporting elements, and do what they're required to do.
Do you concede that, very sadly, it's probably not going to be possible to get everybody out?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, you know, I was there watching this unfold, and I predicted the rate in which the Afghan military forces would collapse, except I was out by 2 weeks. I thought they'd last till September. But yes, we will not get everybody out. Partly some don't want to. Some are actually too scared to move through the streets. But I can tell you, as someone who takes phone calls every day from people I know extremely well who are in Kabul, who have worked for the internationals, they are still desperate to get out. And I've had kind of pleas from people saying, can you reach out to people there? So I'll tell you something I did today. I've reached out to a former parachute regiment friend and said to him, can you reach out by mobile phone to someone who's on the cordon right now and draw the attention to the American airborne forces who are there, so that we can pass a phone number and contact details to someone who's entitled to come out on behalf of the Americans, or alternatively try and get out on behalf of the Canadians. So I think we should continue doing it. And if I were asked to go back and assist in that operation, I would go back without hesitation.
OK, Kevin Hurley, thank you for your insight. You are a brave man.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.